Hey you, yes you. Did you know that you can actually invest in the biggest companies in the world like Apple, Tesla, or even Meta? Now think about it. These guys that own these companies are literally the richest men in the world. The Elon Musks, the Mark Zuckerbergs, and all of the others. So as they grow and build their companies, the money that you invested essentially grows as well. So as they make money, you make money. So in this video, we're going to be talking about exactly that. What is investing in shares? How can you do it in South Africa? And how you can actually become part owner of Apple themselves. And let me tell you right now, it's really not that complicated. But the air of caution that I'm going to give you is please only use money that you're willing to lose, because trust me, there are a lot of risks involved. So the platform that we're going to be using to buy shares in these companies is called EasyEquities. Now it is a very safe platform and it is trusted in South Africa. It has all of the stock options that you really want and it's really easy to use. So that's exactly what we're going to go through in this video, a fully detailed tutorial on how to use EasyEquities. And at the end of this video, I'm going to actually reveal my stock portfolio and what I'm investing in this year. So I think they're going to be pretty good buys, but that's not financial advice. So if you find any value in this content, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and let me know in the comment section what your stocks are for the year. So before we start the tutorial on how to use EasyEquities, I wanted to say again, please only use money that you're willing to lose. And also, let's incorporate a strategy called DCA, which means dollar cost averaging, which means if you like a specific stock that maybe is in my portfolio, then please don't take all of the money that you saved up and put it into that stock at one go. Because remember, there are fluctuations in the market. So instead, if you have, for example, 1,000 Rand, don't take the 1,000 Rand and put it in right now. Instead, put in 100 Rand every Monday for the next 10 weeks. So at the same time, as the market fluctuates, you are essentially getting the best price for your money. So essentially all that does is that it mitigates your risk at buying in at the wrong time. So let's head straight into the tutorial. And don't forget, my portfolio is going to be revealed at the end. Alright guys, so for the tutorial on buying shares, I'm going to be using the desktop version of EasyEquities. Now you can use the app version, it's the same thing, it's just obviously going to look a little different. So the first step is you're going to either go to the site or download the app and then register. So the first thing you're going to do is they're going to ask you your country of residence, so put that information in, and then a few of your personal details. Now under the referral code option, if you want 50 Rand to start off your investing, you can use this code on your screen, but if not, that's completely cool. So anyways, after that, you will then be filling out all of your personal details and your address. They will then ask your KYC. So the KYC stands for Know Your Client. So they basically want to know, where are you getting your money from and how risk averse are you? They just want to know this for their own interest sake, but you have to fill out this information. After that, they're going to be asking you if you are a DPIP or a DPPO. But basically, if you're not working for the government or you're not Jacob Zuma's best friend, then you're good. You can just say that you're not and move on. Once you submit your application, it'll take about 4 hours for them to actually approve it, so just be patient, and then from there you can then carry on with the rest of the tutorial. Alright guys, so once you're accepted and you log in, you should see a page that looks similar to this. Obviously you're on the app, you'll see a different type of version, but it's the same thing. Now the first thing that I want you to do is head over to your settings and head over to your profile. Now please double check that all of the information that is presented here is correct. Go through all of the different tabs, your address info, your KYC, your tax info, and your bank info, and just input everything that needs to be there. Trust me, it's going to save you a lot of problems in the future, so just do it now. Once you're done with that, I want you to head over to account preferences. Now this is basically how we prefer certain settings to be put on the EasyEquities platform. So the first one is the transaction fees. So I prefer to have the amount of my transaction to be included with the transfer fee, so I can see how much I'm paying as a total. So I would have it as the amount is inclusive of transaction fees, and then after that, the dividend and income distribution preference. So once you get paid out a dividend based on a share that you hold in, do you want to pay the money into your cash portion of your account, or do you want to reinvest it into the same holding? So I would automatically reinvest it into the same holding, and if I do want to take it out, I will. So then we can save and proceed. Right, so now once that's done, we're gonna head over back to our home page. All right, so now you should notice that there are different accounts that are present on your EasyEquities homepage. So we have your ZAR account, your TFSA, and these other ones. So let me explain each one. So your ZAR account is basically your Rand account. So your ability to have money to buy stocks in South African listed companies that are on the JSE. Next, we have the TFSA, which is your tax-free savings account. Basically, the government allows you to have a certain investment account that is limited to 36,000 Rand a year or 500,000 Rand over your lifetime that you can invest that will not be taxed. So if you want to ever put your money into your tax-free savings account, you would then use this tab. Then we have our USD account, which is similar to your ZAR account, but basically you can then buy everything that is on the US stock market. Then we have our Easy Properties, which is completely different, but it's basically investing in fractional shares in properties. So for example, if a house costs R1 million and they now offer 1 million shares of it, you can buy a portion of that. So as that value of the house appreciates, so will the portion that you own. Finally, they also give us the option to do the demo ZAR and the demo USD, which is the same things as the actual accounts, but you can just play around with it. You can use virtual money and invest as if it was your real money, so that you can also just get used to the platform and overall just play around with everything. All right, so how do you now deposit money into your EasyEquities platform? So you're going to go over to the menu and you're going to go into deposits. Once you're here, you're going to basically use an EFT or credit card. I would suggest using your EFT because it's much cheaper. When you use your credit card, you have to do a fixed charge of R1.60 and a 2.2% off the total value of your transaction, which is just unnecessary costs. So just use your EFT and then it's pretty much free. So once you deposit your money into your EasyEquities account, this will just be in your ZAR account. Now, what you need to do instead is if you want to move it to your tax-free savings account or your USD account or anything else, you would then have to go to your menu and then do inter-account transfers. So then you would then select, okay, I want to move the money that I just put into my ZAR account and send it to my tax-free savings account, and then you would put in the amount that you want to transfer over. So don't think that your money disappeared. It will be in your ZAR account, and then you can move it along to whichever account that you want to send it. All right, so now within the ZAR account, okay, we have a few different options of what investments we can put in. So the first one is equities, which is basically the shares in individual companies. So for example, if you want to invest in Nedbank, you can literally go to this tab and then search Nedbank and then basically buy how many shares you want as part of their platform. So it's basically small pieces of the pie of a bigger company that you can then own. Next up, we have ETFs. Now, ETF stands for Exchange Traded Funds, which is basically your index fund. So this is a collection of companies. So for example, in South Africa, we have the JSE Top 40. Now, this is a fund or a pool of companies which are the 40 largest companies in South Africa. So your Vodacoms, your MTNs, your different banks, and all of these different companies. So if you buy this index fund, you are essentially buying each of those companies. So if you put in 40 Rand into the JSE Top 40, you just bought 1 Rand of each of the top 40 companies in South Africa. Now, America has the S&P 500, which is the same thing for America, but your top 500 companies in America. And Europe has your FTSE 100, which is the top 100 companies in Europe. Now, I think index funds are a good way to invest as a beginner because you don't really have to look at your individual shares and just makes life a lot easier. Plus, these different types of collections of index funds have better returns than basically any bank will give you. So right now, as a beginner, I would highly suggest starting off there. But as I said, I will be revealing my portfolio at the end to show you the index funds I'm investing in as well as the individual shares that I'm investing in. All right, so next up we have ETNs. Now these are your exchange traded notes. Now this is a much more complex form of investing, but basically this gives investors exposure to different commodities or emerging markets that they can invest in. As I said, it is a bit more complicated. I personally don't invest in that right now, but it's quite simple. Okay, next up we have crypto. Now crypto, everybody knows what crypto is. It's basically virtual currency that is built on a blockchain. Now obviously different cryptos have different utilities, and now I personally don't invest in crypto on EasyEquities because EasyEquities basically has an index fund of cryptos. So for example, we have our EC10, which if we open this, we'll see that it is basically built up of the 10 largest cryptocurrencies. So once again, similar to index funds, it's there a pool of these currencies that you're now investing in. I prefer to do my own investing where I invest separately into different cryptocurrencies, but if you want a more detailed video on that, we can make one. Okay, so next up we have unit trusts, which is basically now pools of different people with an account manager of you basically investing into those shares. Okay, finally we have bonds, bundles and baskets, which is now obviously a bit more complicated form of investing, but basically for like the bundles and baskets, an account manager from a specific company manages their portfolio and you can basically invest into their portfolio. So they might think that these group of companies are going to do well, so that basically you'll be investing in their portfolio. Now there is admin fees associated with these, so it is a bit more expensive, but overall I would say stick to the simpler stuff for now, and once you get more advanced and your understanding increases in terms of investing, then go over to these things, which I really don't think you should. Alright guys, so as I said, before you actually start playing around with your own money, please use these demo accounts. They're actually quite useful and they work exactly the same way that any other investment would work on the platform. So literally, you would go to your demo account and then you would then select whatever investment type you want, and then you would then search what company you want to invest in. So for example, if you want to invest in APSA, you can literally then go click APSA, and then you can then buy, let's just say 50 Rand worth of APSA shares once off, and we would buy it now. And then finally it says congratulations, we've then now bought 0.649 shares of APSA, which is basically nothing. But that's basically how it works. That's how you then buy a share. Alright guys, so I'm going to show you all of the things I'm investing in right now. So in South Africa, these are the companies I'm investing in, the companies and index funds that I'm investing in. Alright guys, so now I'm going to be revealing what stocks I think are going to do really well in South Africa. Now ignore this APSA one because I just did that as an example for you guys. So I'm invested in Discovery, Goldfields, Sanlam, the Satrix Top 40, which is now your JSE Top 40, the Satrix FINI 15, which is basically an index fund that is built up of the top 15 banking institutions in South Africa, Standard Bank, and then the FTSE 100, which is the Europe Top 100 index fund. So that's what I've currently invested in South Africa. Now, if we go to America, we see that my current holding is in Nvidia. Now, Nvidia, I purchased this at a prior date because obviously it's doing really well, and I think it's going to be one of the highest growing stocks in this year. But as for my other pending orders that I put in last night, just to show you guys, we'll just let it load, and we see now these are the companies that I think are going to be doing really well. So now the reason why it hasn't bought yet is because they're waiting for the US markets to still open. So we see we have Amazon, Apple, Microsoft, Uber, CrowdStrike, Palo Alto, Marathon, Tesla, Alibaba, Brookfield Corp, AMD, and then Alphabet, Google. And on my second page, we see we have American Express, Visa, MasterCard, your S&P 500 in America, and then Meta, which is now Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp. So those are what I'm currently investing in. Now, if you want a more detailed video on why I think these stocks are doing so well, just let me know in the comment section below and I will make a follow-up video. Alright guys, so that's basically everything you need to know about the EasyEquities platform. Withdrawing your money is basically the same process as depositing it. Now, just remember, always use your reference number that they give you so that they know where your funds are allocated. That is how you use EasyEquities, and that is my portfolio. So if you want 50 Rand to start off your EasyEquities investing journey into buying the biggest companies in the world, use the link in the description or the code that you see on screen right now, so you get 50 Rand to start off your journey. So thank you for watching the video, and watch this video if you haven't checked it out. Stay blessed.